You know what's wild about overthinking? It's literally the most useless superpower ever. Like, congratulations. You can take a simple decision about what to have for lunch and turn it into a 45-minute internal documentary about your life choices, your health, your finances, and somehow your relationship with your mother, all because you couldn't decide between a sandwich or a salad. We all act like overthinking is this complex psychological problem that requires therapy, meditation apps, and like 14 self-help books. But what if I told you there's a stupidly simple trick that cuts through all that noise? And it's so basic you're going to think I'm messing with you, but stick with me, because this actually works. The trick is this. Ask yourself one question and one question only. What would I do if I had to decide right now? No, seriously, that's it. What would I do if someone put a gun to my head, metaphorically speaking, and said you have exactly 3 seconds to make this decision? What would you choose? Because here's what happens when you overthink. You're not actually problem solving. You're procrastinating with extra steps. You're taking a decision that your brain already made in the first 10 seconds, and then you're torturing yourself by imagining every possible way it could go wrong. It's like your brain is a really annoying friend who keeps asking, "Are you sure? Are you really sure? What if this? What if that?" This is where that 3-second rule becomes your secret weapon. When you force yourself into that 3-second window, something magical happens. Your brain stops being a perfectionist and starts being practical. It cuts through all the noise, all the what-ifs, all the catastrophic scenarios, and just picks the option that makes the most sense with the information you have right now. It's really amazing. Let me give you an example. You're staring at your closet, trying to figure out what to wear, and your brain goes into full analysis mode. What if it rains? What if it's too casual? What if people think I'm trying too hard? What if I spill something? What if? Stop. Right there. 3 seconds. What would you wear if you had to walk out the door? Right now. Boom. Decision made. Or here's another one. You're scrolling through Netflix for the 3rd hour, trying to find something to watch. And your brain is like, well, this looks good, but the reviews are mixed. And this one might be too long. And what if I start it and don't like it? And then I've wasted my time. No. 3 seconds. What would you click on? Right now? Done. And the real beauty of this approach? It works. Because that first instinct of yours, it's usually right. Not always, but usually. Your brain is actually really good at making clear, quick decisions. When it's not busy sabotaging itself with endless what-ifs and analysis paralysis. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I make the wrong choice? And here's the uncomfortable truth. You're going to make wrong choices anyway, whether you spend 3 seconds or 3 hours deciding. The difference is, with the 3-second method, you'll make wrong choices faster. And then, you can just move on with your life instead of making wrong choices after torturing yourself for hours. Because let's be real, most of the things you overthink, they don't actually matter that much. You think they do because your brain loves drama. But in 6 months, you won't remember whether you chose the sandwich or the salad. What you will remember, though, is how much mental energy you wasted on it. And here's the thing about wrong choices. They're not actually that bad. Most of the time, they're either fixable, or they teach you something, or they lead you somewhere unexpected, somewhere that turns out to be better than your original plan. But your overthinking brain doesn't want to hear that. It's convinced that every single decision is life or death. I'm not saying don't think things through. There are obviously big decisions, careers, relationships, commitments, that deserve way more than 3 seconds. But for 90% of the stuff you overthink, the 3-second rule is perfect. What to eat, where to go, what to buy, what to say, what to wear. These are not life-altering decisions. They just feel like it, because your brain is dramatic. And the more you practice this, the better you get at trusting your instincts. And the less power overthinking has over you. It's like training a muscle, except that the muscle is your ability to just make a freaking decision and move on. So next time you catch yourself spiraling, ask yourself one question. What would I do right now if I had to decide immediately? Then do that thing and see what happens. Worst case scenario, you make a suboptimal choice and you learn something. Best case scenario, you realize that most decisions don't matter nearly as much as you think they do. Either way, you'll have freed up all that mental energy for stuff that actually matters, instead of wasting it on whether you should text that person back now or wait 20 minutes. Because what if you seem too eager? Seriously, try it. For 1 week. Apply the 3-second rule to everything that doesn't involve your career, your relationships, or your health. Just the small stuff. And watch. Watch how much lighter your brain feels when it's not constantly running worst-case scenario simulations. Because here's the truth. Overthinking isn't protecting you from making mistakes. It's just making you miserable, while you make the same mistakes anyway. So you might as well make them quickly and move on with your life. Trust me, your future self will thank you for all the time you didn't waste staring at menus. If this actually helped you stop overthinking stupid decisions, then hit subscribe. Because I'm your guy for more brutally simple advice that cuts through all the mental noise your brain loves to create. Think of it this way. You already waste enough time overthinking. Don't overthink whether to subscribe to. Just do it. Because you're going to need these reminders when your brain starts spiraling again.